Barry talks about an acid test, Phil. It's an acid test for Hull also.
It's a fantastic game. You know, you're not really bothered if you're watching at home what the temperature is here tonight. You just want to know that you're going to get a highly competitive game of rugby, and that is a certainty. We've got Hull, who've lost the last 2 games, playing Warrington, who've won the last 2 games, and this, at this point in the season, could be a significant victory if Warrington are able to get it. You know what? The glass is half full or half empty, whichever way you look at it at present. They haven't particularly impressed, but a win here tonight, start of March, in this sort of conditions, could really set them up for a strong first half to the season.
Hull were 6 places and 7 points ahead of Warrington in 2017 after the 23 weekly rounds. Hull third, they got to within 80 minutes of Old Trafford. Warrington, of course, secured their Super League futures through the qualifiers last year, and they're anxious that they won't be repeating that sort of form again in 2018. The match referee, Ben Thaler, is just waiting while the flags are taken away from the surface by the youngsters, the mascots, who do such a great game. And Lee Radford, well, he's all rugged up as well, and he's ready for his men to do battle, and he is looking for a little bit more better game management than they had last week at Castleford. Mark Sneed gets us underway then. Here we go. And let's see what the next 80 minutes has to offer. That was Declan Patton underneath the kick-off. This now is Chris Hill driving the ball forward for the Warrington Wolves. They've beaten Widnes and Wigan, and they can put themselves right back in contention amongst the top 4 with a win for Steve Price's team here. And they have the first use of the football, and this is Benny Westwood, who's taking it up almost towards the halfway line. And here now is Jack Hughes. He gets to his feet and will play the ball to Darryl Clark, and Chris Hill carts the ball forward deep into Hull territory. They're midway inside the Hull half of the field. Expect the kick here from Roberts. There it is, high to the corner, and underneath it, oh, it's a great piece of play that. Oh, the referee though said that Mitch Brown knocked the ball forward, and Burton Murdoch-Masilla thought he was on his way.
Well, he was brilliantly placed, wasn't he, the referee? Exactly in line with where the ball came down from the kick, and got the call there that said the ball went forward to Murdoch-Masilla. Impressive start for Warrington to that game. Chris Hill, you remember from the kick-off, he made about 10 or 15 metres, brought through the first couple of tackles, and every other Warrington player rolled forward as a result.
So Hull, they escaped the first little scare of the night, and here they come now with Liam Watts. Liam Watts had a fine game against St George Illawarra in Sydney. That looked a little high, but Scott Taylor, he's appealing to Ben Thaler, who isn't interested. This is Jamie Shaw. And Danny Washbrook is in a dummy half. Gives the ball into centre field. Here is Sneed looking for the runner. It's Mark Minicello. He stands in the tackle, gets the ball away. Untidily it hits the ground, and Danny Washbrook is able to retain possession for his side.
Nice ball movement and a sloppy offload at the end of it. Unfortunately, of course, Hull FC playing without Danny Houghton again. They're giving Danny Washbrook a run at 9.
Big night for Tom Lynham tonight up against his former club. We'll go down to the touchline for the first time tonight, joining Bill Arthur.
Eddie, just a quick word on the conditions, because you might have thought with the beast from the east raging just outside us here that it would be pretty wild in here, but this is like an oasis of calm amidst the storm. It's really dry, and the pitch is in great condition. The thing the players are going to have to contend with, apart from the bitter cold, is the wind that is swirling around the ground, and I think is at the present at the back of the Hull FC side.
Thanks, Bill. This, meanwhile, Ben Murdoch-Masilla for Warrington, back in possession again. The Tongan international sub in the last 2.
Four players trying to get hold of him and stop his momentum.
Back. That's 3. Wait here.
Referee anxious that the play the ball is taken from the correct position. Roberts drops the pass off to Westwood. He takes Warrington to the 20-metre mark. Last tackle coming up then for the Warrington Wolves. It's with Roberts, slides the kick in, or tries to, off the knees of Mark Sneed, and he drops gratefully on it.
It's a good start from Warrington. Every time the forwards have got hold of the ball, they seem to be getting through the line, landing on the front, and obviously the contact that the likes of Chris Hill and Ben Westwood are making are very good. Good reaction from Mark Sneed to gather that ball, but again, decent line speed, holding on to Hull FC.
For Remo here, impressive last week, a try against Castleford. And this fella's always impressive in my book, Jamie Shaw.
Well, that's his go-to play, pick up and run. He wants those quick rucks, and more often than not, when he's fighting for a quick play, the ball he forces the hand of the referee.
Intelligent kick that from Jake Connor. It is right into that corner. Oh, and I'm not so sure that Ratchford touched that. The referee, though, will give head and feed to Warrington. It was into open space from Connor. It was a beautifully weighted kick.
A big responsibility, isn't it, for Jake Connor?
It doesn't touch him, and he's had his foot over the line anyway.
That's what we're saying in the studio to Brian Carney. He's a clever player. Jake Connor knows exactly how to play the game when he's asked to play in that half-back role. Whether he's going to carry the ball, whether he's going to create something, his kicking game. Might show him with that kick. He's very intelligent.
Okay, let's back him, please,
Yes,
boys.
his 23rd consecutive appearance tonight, but big boots to fill in the shape of Albert Kelly. Now Lynham. Tom Lynham, ex-Hull, 54 tries in 68 appearances, and there's a nice welcoming committee for him. Push back towards his own line.
Did well then and all. He thought about offloading that ball. The second he got driven backwards, he thought about offloading the ball. Quickly went down, played the ball, and gave half a chance to the players following him.
And Murdoch-Masila, midway inside his own half of the field, will play the ball here down the right-hand side to Clark, who finds Ryan Atkins. Clark again, goes down the short side, saw a little gap, and he's exploiting the gap. Great run from Darrell Clark, this. He had Tyrone Roberts with him, but he couldn't get the ball to him down the right-hand side, so took the tackle instead. It's the last one coming up. And this is Deck Patton, floats a high kick out to the other side this time. Looking for Lynham, finding Lyman. Lyman gets the ball away, the ball hits the ground. Hull have got it back. And that would be, I was going to say would be play on, but he'll play the first knock on, I think.
First defence, hand
It was a
over.
brilliant
So it'll be
piece
the
of play.
turnover.
Sorry, Eddie, brilliant piece of play from Darrell Clark. The markers split. Here's the mistake. Tom Lynham tried to get the ball back to Jack Hughes, I think it is. Look at Darrell Clark here, the speed, the recognition. He gobbles up 25, 30 metres for his side.
Well, coaches want the teams to contest the kicks when they go high to the air. Warrington have certainly done that in the opening 6 minutes. Once in the right where they almost scored, and again over in that left side with Tom Lynham. Players really chasing with some enthusiasm whenever the side get that kick to air there.
It's Scott Taylor. Remarkable recovery after a fortnight following an appendix operation for Scott Taylor. Boy, they're hardy guys, these rugby league players. This is Shaw, he keeps the movement going. Spreads it wide here now, to Hull. And this is Twimavavi. He's a bit of a handful, is Carlos Twimavavi. And Warrington are finding that out. He gets the ball away to Shaw. And he's met by his opposite number, Ratchford, and clawed to the ground by Ben Murdoch-Masila. 21 metres out. It's with Taylor again. Now it's Sneed. Sneed into centre field to Connor. Put it in behind the defenders, but they reacted quickly enough. Sikamano
Well, all
on
that
top of Patton.
all that front foot rugby came off the back of Liam Watts. He's big, he's powerful, 4 men around him, he offloads the ball in, and Hull FC, when they get the ball to the speeds to Jamie Shaw, can cause you so many problems. So elusive at the back for Hull this year.
Mitch Brown had a solid enough start in the Warrington jersey last week. Dawson Goodwin, the goal kicker. There he is, Mitch Brown, former Australian schoolboy international, came to Warrington from Lee, as Chris Hill takes Warrington over halfway again, but that's tackle number 5, so last one coming up here. You'll expect the kick once again from Roberts. There it is. This time he goes high, and he tempted Shaw to come for it. It's a horrible bounce. It's arrived at Mitch Brown. Mitch Brown has knocked it on, and in the end Warrington...
By Hull.
Oh, the knock-on is by Hull, says Ben Thaler. It's going to be Warrington's head and feed, this.
Well, there's a swirling wind, and it's been horrendous all day. And when that ball goes up, Jamie Shaw doesn't know whether to go for it. Then all of a sudden he backs off. And then the mistake there was it from Talanoa. He's the one who makes a mistake when he's going in to try and get that ball. Mitch Brown was in front of him, the number 21 for Warrington.
Yeah, I think he touches the ball into Mitch Brown, doesn't he, as he tries to get hold of it. That's the knock-on.
Well, here's the first chance you'd probably say for Warrington to really attack. They're going to get 6 players relatively close to opponent's try line. The ball comes from Talanoa's right hand. And there was a question mark over Warrington's attack last year, and so far in 4 games they've only managed to score 8 tries. Does it get any better now? I think the answer will be no, Eddie.
No, it's put down on the first tackle by Ben Westwood. I mean, we will have to excuse the players tonight for any handling errors that we see. It's not the wet and slippery conditions tonight, that the temperatures are absolutely freezing. Their fingers and their hands must be blue with cold.
Eddie, let me tell you, the best place to be on a night like this is in your shorts and your shirt, down there running about, keeping busy. Ben Westwood was running towards the ball. The ball was passed in a direction on an outward line, and the pace of it was too strong. It rebounded off big Ben Westwood, and Warrington have compounded that now with a penalty. They play the ball.
Indeed, it's just inside their own half of the field, though, so no chance really for Mark Sneyd to have a shot at goal. So he goes for touch on the far side. Chris Hill, the Warrington captain, one of 6 players to start every game for England in last year's World Cup. There he is again. He's a real energetic forward, and they do look a different side with him on the field. This is Connor. Fires the pass to Sneyd. Here now is Mark Minicello. Minicello gets to within 3 or 4 metres of the Warrington line. That's where they are. And Tuimavave, dummy half, fires the ball to Scott Taylor. Taylor is just completely enveloped by Westwood and Hill. Down he goes. So Washbrook ambles into dummy half, gives the pass then to Sneyd, goes wide to Connor. Short ball then from him to Sika Manu, and Manu, well, he puts the ball down, and Bryson Goodwin has it back for Warrington.
They're a difficult side to defend against. We saw when Warrington played against Widnes a couple of weeks ago how good they were defending their own try line. But what Hull have got, they've got forwards that like to pass the ball. Nice little tip-on plays, but also the skill they've got out wide. And the likes of Mark Sneyd when he gets the ball, Jake Connor when he gets the ball, there's always something to defend.
You mentioned the Warrington defence against Widnes. It was excellent against Wigan last week as well.
I thought they looked very tough all around the park. I thought Warrington last week, by that man as well, I thought he'd been sensational. Probably Warrington's best this year, Stefan Ratchford.
And needing some treatment in back play is Stefan Ratchford. Got up a bit gingerly and played the ball just a couple of plays ago. This is Declan Patton, gets it away to Jack Hughes. Last tackle again for Warrington. 23 metres out. Patton this time with the kicking off the outside of the right boot. It's brought them almost some reward. It might do again here. It's a knock on by Talanoa. Went over the dead ball line, so it's a goal line dropout.
Well, Ryan Atkins has made a name for himself in the opening rounds of Super League, getting up, getting high, and I think the reason that ball is dropped by Talanoa, he feels the breath of Ryan Atkins and thinks, I need to just get hold of the ball, fumbles it and just pushes it over the dead ball line.
Yes, he's been dangerous so far this season, Atkins. There's Talanoa. Next try for him will be 50 for Hull, but that's maybe for another moment. That's a booming dropout from Mark Sneyd. I think that is evidence that Bill was right. The wind is at the backs of Hull in this first half. Hill taking it forward.
That's a full-blown pitch. That must be 62 metres that before it bounced. Or was caught, should I say.
I'd like to buy a carpet from you, Barry, but still.
About.
Warrington in possession here, and Bryson Goodwin is the latest player to get to his feet somewhat gingerly. Mike Cooper will take it forward now.
Again, look at that extra effort from Mike Cooper.
And good effort from the defenders to push him back from whence he came. Clark, 20 metres out. Showed it to Westwood, gave it to Roberts. He did well then, Ratchford stretching for that to keep hold of the ball. Clark again eyeing right and left, going into centre field to Ben Westwood. There's the last tackle coming up. Referee has his hand in the air to signal that was the 5th. Roberts booms the pass wide. Mitch Brown somewhat gave himself up then. There was a great screen from the terraces of forward, much to the displeasure of Stephen Price and Tyrone Roberts.
Well, Warrington favour this right-hand side, whether it's looking for Ryan Atkins to get a quick play of the ball or whether it's looking for Ben Murdoch-Masila. The amount of times Ben Murdoch-Masila in this game will line up against Mark Sneyd, that will be a mismatch if he gets a good run at the ball.
Well, you talk about this side, they've got a dramatic problem on the far side of the field. Probably the best player, I would maybe counter-argue, this season has been Bryson Goodwin, the centre. He's left the field, he's actually come back on, but I think he's going to leave the match here now. He's got a terrible injury, could be a calf or lower leg problem.
And that will give them a problem goal kicking as well, although there are goal kickers still out there for Warrington, but he's been the kicker-in-chief so far this year.
They do have Toby King on the bench. It's unusual to put a player centre on the bench. Might have carried that knock or that injury into the game.
And there is Toby King waiting to come into the action. There is Connor meanwhile with a crossfield kick, which Brown's able to collect that easily. No pressure on him. The kick was a little bit too deep. So 14 minutes gone, 0-0 here at the KCOM Stadium. 10 months since these two faced each other. Both Super League encounters were played last April. Hull were unbeaten in both. They won here 34-10, but earlier that month it was 22-all, a classic at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. And it looks like it's the end for the time being anyway, and probably for the match for Bryson Goodwin.
Come on, boys.
So Toby King has filled in immediately on the left-hand side, and it's a forward pass.
A real shame as well. Toby King came on, made good meters, and here it is, Darrell Clark, who's normally very good in those situations, picks up, flings it forward. Loose, slack, and uncharacteristic.
Well, there's a little bit of snow in the air as well here right now, just to make things worse for the players.
There's a bit of claret, I think, if you see Stephen Ratchford close up as well.
Yes, he's got a bit of a nosebleed that needs tending to. Backing in the back of the scrum. Here goes Beretta Farimo again. Now it's Sika Manu. Sika Manu is been away for a couple of weeks, helping out in Tonga after a cyclone struck the island. Sneed, short ball. Warrington dealing with the threat. And Warrington having to defend here once again as Hull inch their way towards the 10-metre line. So with Sneed once more. Thought about dropping the pass off. He's dropped the ball instead.
He's been caught in two minds a couple of occasions in the last few minutes. He's gone at the line, he's given it a little tip on to Danny Washbrook, who's gone through, and then this occasion he thinks that Ben Murdoch-Masila gets on his outside shoulder, he looks to step. Does he take the player on? Well, he's got so many things. Does he hit Mark Minicello or Carlos Tumabavi, or take the big fella on?
And Tez has already mentioned a couple of times the fact that the big man, Murdoch-Masila, is going to be running at Mark Sneed, but believe you me, Mark Sneed will be thinking in his mind, I'm going to coax this big fella into trying to grapple me, trying to manhandle me and just slot one of me teammates through a space or gap.
I think, Eddie, one of the things you notice in weather like this and these conditions is you tend to get lower scoring matches, and for players I think what that tests is their patience. You know, they're not going to get a try every 5 or 10 minutes. It's about being patient and holding your nerve, really, accepting that chances may come very rarely, but when they do, you have to take them, and that might be penalty goals, might even be the drop goal option. Both these sides got players who can do that. I think this will be a low-scoring game, and points are absolutely vital. Any that you can take are essential here tonight.
Well, the indications are you're spot on, Phil, because we've got 16.5 minutes on the clock, and we still wait the first points of the night as Cooper again gets Warrington over halfway. Notice Dom Crosby is out there, as well as Toby King for Warrington off the bench. That's another good run from Ben Murdoch-Masila.
And who's he running at, Eddie? It's Mark Sneed.
Taking a lot of juice out of him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Roberts, high and again, cross field. Swirling everywhere. Very well dealt with, as it turned out.
You do well to catch that, wouldn't you? Jake Connor, the man who come up with that.
Farimo. He took that well. There's a real buzz around the ground whenever Farimo gets hold of the football. Here goes Josh Griffin now, down the middle. Taking a few with him, making good progress. Good leg drive from Josh Griffin. Washbrook. Sneed again, this time a dab into the corner. Bounces perfectly for Ratchford, and Ratchford will begin the counter. Went very early in the count.
Yeah, kicked on the third play, looking to try and keep Warrington penned down near their own line, make the forwards, bring the ball away. Going to be difficult. Well, the teams will keep it nice and condensed when they're defending down near their opposition's line. And then they get a penalty.
Now then, here is a chance for the first points of the night. It'll be interesting to see what the decision is, Phil. An incorrect play the ball, you could see that clearly. Will Hull take the gamble, Phil? Do you think they'll take the 2?
I think they will, yes. I think they will, and it won't be an easy kick either, really, with the weather, the wind blowing.
It is at their backs.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think it's going in a direct straight line in between those two upright posts either, so it might take it either side. The touch judges are in position.
Just in terms of Toby King, he's had a couple of early involvements. He's trying to generate that momentum with some very purposeful carries, but sometimes in conditions like this you have to sacrifice a little bit of stuff at the play of the ball to make sure you're not going to drop it. I thought Mike Cooper in the last set of 6, I thought he had a bit of a fumble when he was trying to play the ball.
Well, there he is, Mark Sneed. He's 28 metres away. He is bang in front, but as we've said, this wind is troublesome tonight. Probably hear it on the microphones from time to time. But Mark Sneed here with the opportunity. He averages 8 points per game. He got a try and 3 goals last week against Castleford, so he got above his average. 19 minutes on the watch as Sneed then takes this penalty attempt. And the crowd will tell you, and then the flags will tell you, that Mark Sneed has opened the scoring here with the left boot. Hull 2, Warrington 0. Let's get news of Bryson Goodwin, the Warrington goal kicker. Bill.
Warrington hoping that their centre will be back on the pitch. He got a whack on the knee, and he got a whack on the knee in exactly the same place last week against Wigan. So they're hoping he's going to be able to shake that off as the evening progresses. Although, with the temperature as it is, it's not exactly suited to recovering from a whack on the knee. Not suited to recovering from anything, in actual fact.
Well, he won't have to ice it, will he?
Yes, I suppose there's consolation in every situation. I wonder after tonight, will the players, because it's tradition that they, not tradition, but the way they do things these days, they have ice baths.
I think you will struggle to get any one of those 34 players in an ice bath.
You don't think they go in the ice bath tonight?
They're just like nice recovery. They'd like to get into a nice warm bed after this. Very difficult. Look at them on the sideline, and that's the difficult thing for them. They sat on the sideline, yeah, they get up, they warm up, but then they've got to get into action, and it is absolutely freezing down there, let me tell you.
Sika Manu now will put all thoughts about the temperature to the back of his mind and cart the ball up towards the halfway line. We'll get up here and play it to Washbrook. Oops, and a little fumble by Sneed, but he hangs on. To Imavavi again. Looking to smuggle the ball back to Jamie Shaw perhaps, but surrounded by Primrose and Blue. So Minicello on halfway gives it to Sneed. Sneed with the left footer.
You've seen probably, Eddie, 2 tactical different approaches to this game. Warrington have been very simple, haven't they, with men running hard straight down the middle of the field. I think Hull have taken more risks, they've made more passes, they've used a wider part of the field than the Warrington team. At the moment there's obviously nothing in it, but it's a contrasting style in the opening quarter.
Movement! We're here, boys. Wait.
Midway through this first half then, and a little more, as Cooper takes it forward again for Warrington. And the latest score from Wigan. Wigan 0, Widnes 6. And I think I heard that it was Matt Whitley who got the first try of the match at the DW Stadium. So Wigan 0, Widnes 6 here, 2-0 to Hull. This is Ben Murdoch-Masilla.
Got good options there, Tyrone Robert, to man inside and out. And someone hitting a decent lead. It is a good kick.
It is a great kick, this. It's hanging towards the line. There's a man taking out Connor, but the referee says play on because Josh Griffin has it.
I think it was Toby King who was claiming there was an escort or a taxi. There was certainly a collision when that ball went up in the air.
For Remo, the Warrington defensive line is just a little bit fractured at the moment.
I think he just runs into him, Barry. Look at him. No, he steps into him. That could have been a penalty, that.
Yes, it could have easily been. Oh, here's a 40-20 attempt from Jake Connor. Oh, what a kick that is. That's a 40-20 from Jake Connor.
On the third tackle as well, so very deliberately.
Using that wind. I know it was all along the ground, but it's blowing up, down and sideways, this.
But that's the skill as well, not getting height on it, just keeping it nice and low, making sure that he gets the ball where he wants it. Look at this for the first carry.
From Liam Watts. Punched kick underneath the wind has given Hull a great position, and the crowd starting to find their voice for the first time as Washbrook will find Sneed again. And Sneed drops the pass back to Jamie Shaw, who thought about going left, will then come right and give it to the big man Minicello to have a dab, and that could easily have been obstruction, but I think Minicello gave himself up. Went to ground. So Washbrook again. Hadley fires the ball to Connor, who started all this. Here's a chance for Sika Manu, and Warrington hold him up. That's great defence again from the Warrington Wolves. That's been a feature of their play under Steve Price so far this season. Super defence.
Well, it's effort on effort, isn't it? They held Witness up twice a couple of weeks ago, and Toby King, look at him, he clamps that ball. That's fabulous defence from Sika Manu, on Sika Manu.
Chuimavavi. Of course, the tackle count continues because he was held up. And here is Sneed again. Thought about the kick wide. Got the ball away to Josh Bowden. Bowden off the bench also tonight. Washbrook to Sneed. High kick. Flick back. Manu goes wide. Chance for Farimo and Holler in. Yes, they are. No need to refer that one upstairs. Great kick out wide. It held and held and held. It was in exactly the right position. And Beretta Farimo, well, he got a try last week against Castleford. It was his first for Hull. He's just got his second try of the season, his second for Hull. And the United States of American international in the World Cup, Beretta Farimo, has scored the first try of the night.
Well, it all came about from that kick from Jake Connor. He's come up with two fabulous kicks early on in this game. And then look at this, the time, the space that Mark Sneed's got. And Sika Manu gets that ball away to Farimo. If Hull FC have enough decent field position, Mark Sneed, Jake Connor will pull those strings.
Well, I'm going to go right back to the beginning of that play. Danny Washbrook, the delivery of that pass gives enough time and space to Mark Sneed to put that ball. Obviously, the finish is first class, but it can't happen without Danny Washbrook. The accuracy of that pass, one of the most difficult passes from the floor, left to right, filling the huge shoes of Danny Houghton. He does his job and does it well.
There is Albert Kelly, and next to him, Danny Houghton. And when those two are on the field, for Hull, they're a formidable unit, they really are. But they've got Mark Sneed who can kick, out of hand, 40-20s, and the place kicks, of course. And what a bonus that they've got a fellow like Jake Connor out there as well, who started all the mayhem for Hull in that build up to the try with the 40-20. And Sneed has added another 2 points to the total. Hull lead by 8 points to 0.
Eddie, you talked about Jake Connor. You know, when the kick went over, I'm not sure. Jake Connor's played every single position in the back line of a rugby league team, and I'm not sure which is his best, but I know that whenever he's on the field, things happen around him. He put himself into the action there, he contested the ball, it was tapped back to his teammates, and then it was a wonderful pass from Sika Manu to allow Farimo to go in the corner there, and that was a vital score for them. The attacking, kicking accuracy, just the difference between these two sides after 25 minutes.
Well, I said at the start of the night that Jake Connor's got big boots to fill, filling in for Albert Kelly. Isn't he filling in well here tonight, the former Huddersfield man? He got a try in the home and away Super League meetings with Warrington last year as well, did Jake Connor, so if you're looking for another one here this evening, it's possible. But at the moment, 8-0 to Hull FC against the Warrington Wolves.
They do
nice
that.
little run.
They do that so well, Hull. They're only 10 or 15 metres away from their own line. Again, passing accuracy, right on the button, nobody under stress. And Jamie Shaw and the rest of his Hull FC teammates are just moving the ball about a lot more, as Phil referenced.
Widnes are 8-0 up at Wigan. Hull are 8-0 up here against Warrington. This is Talanoa. And Sneed again. This time down the centre of the field, no danger, and Ratchford sees to it that there isn't any danger and gives it then to Tom Lynham. Always runs solidly and strong, does Lynham.
And when you play against Warrington, you know that you've got to win these first few plays, because the outside backs do return the ball with interest. They're very hard to handle, and the likes of Tom Lynham, not only is he a monster, but he's got some speed as well. As Mike Cooper leaves the field, Looks like he's going to the blood bin.
Well, Hull and Warrington here. Warrington's last win on this ground, 2016 in September, 23 points to 6. It was the win, actually, that gave them the league leaders' shield. And you're right, Mike Cooper needs a little bit of medical attention to his forehead. 2016, the year that Warrington contested both major finals, the Grand Final and the Challenge Cup final at Wembley, and lost. Lost the latter, of course, to the Black and Whites. The decent-looking kick, overclaimed by Farimo.
It's looked like 5 drives in the kick's Warrington's best hope of scoring at the moment. They might have a more patient approach than I've got here, and I understand that they're hoping long-term they can grind down this whole team, but you know what, you've got to be very, very good to do that against the Black and Whites on the home ground.
Hull in possession once again, Steve Price and his oppo, Andrew Henderson, in his first season with Warrington. His old club, London, riding high at the top of the championship at the moment under Danny Ward.
He's doing a fantastic job, Danny Ward, young British coach.
Absolutely. Delighted for him, and delighted for David Hughes, the owner of the London Broncos as well. They put the Toronto Wolfpack to the sword at the weekend. This is Stefan Ratchford now.
Well, there's his spark. What have the rest of the team got there? Can they get excited? Can they get near the ball in support?
Well, Declan Patton is and has.
Hold it here, boys. Still ready. Wait. Go.
This is Clark now, and a drive in here from Toby King. Nothing on the field.
Ready, boys. 3. Now, go. Set. Don't hold on.
I'm sorry, that was Akuola, wasn't it? It wasn't Toby King at all. There's Toby King. And he's surrounded by black and white jerseys.
Look at that for defence. When the ball's shifted, 5 defenders turn up.
Patton again. Drops it off once more to Dom Crosby. Crosby, good leg drive, looking for that line. Now then, this is the last one for Warrington. Repeat set will be the least that they will expect from this. Another good kick, looking for Atkins, but claimed by Twimavavi.
He just gets his timing wrong then, Ryan Atkins. As we've said, he's very good in the air. But whether it was the wind or not that just made him there. Normally he's running onto those balls. He's jumping, he's contesting in the air. Not on that occasion.
Well, he's been devastating in the air this year so far, Atkins. This is Jamie Shaw now.
Surrender! Stand! Forward, Joe, with me. Go.
These are some easy meters from Hull FC already over the halfway line.
Sneed again, they wanted a quick play of the ball. He dabs the ball. Oh, and that's out on the full.
Well, he gets out from dummy half. He thinks because it's a quick play of the ball, there's not much pressure on him. No, it's just cooks that one too much. Mark Sneed, his first error.
Let's get some Warrington news, Bill.
Yeah, all happening for the Warrington sideline team at the moment. Bryson Goodwin has emerged from the dressing room, but he's hobbled back out of the dressing room. If he's shaking that knock off, it's taking a while. Mike Cooper has disappeared into the dressing room. He's had the cut on his forehead patched up, but he's gone for further treatment in the dressing room. Meanwhile, Stefan Ratchford is still out there, but he seems to be carrying a knock. He's had a number of visits on the run from the physio. He's also had a visit on the run from Sergeant Major John Clark, who's in charge of the conditioning of these Warrington players, urging Stefan Ratchford just to get back into the line.
Mistake here from Ryan Atkins. He believed, I think, that it was impeding. He was getting impeded, rather, as he tried to get to his feet. And just before that, we saw Darryl Clark just clutch the back of his neck. There was a little bit of pressure put on the back of his neck by Twimavavi, wasn't there, Stu?
There was, yes. He got up holding his neck in the situation. And just going back to the knock-on there, we saw earlier on in the game a penalty given for a similar situation. So Warrington need to make sure they get to the back of their feet. Now you can see here Clark's put into that position, and there's pressure placed on the back of the neck there as he's taken to ground.
Let's go, please, Mark.
I'm sure the match review panel will look at that situation on Monday.
Was there very much that the Hull defenders could do about that? There was one coming on the back of Twimavavi, and he was...
Well, they'll look to see if they have opportunity to release as soon as they can, and whether the pressure was applied for a length of time, and they'll take that into consideration.
So 32 minutes gone, 8 minutes from half time. 8 minutes is 8 points is the gap, with 8 minutes remaining. Hull will be quite pleased with this situation. Two sides here, of course, who have made it to the Theatre of Dreams for grand final night. Warrington been the bridesmaids 3 times. Penalty here at the ruck for Hull.
You've got to get out quicker.
Kicking distance again.
You think they go for 2 points, wouldn't you? Good left foot step from Mark Minichiello. Gets rid of Murdoch Masilla. He's caught on the wrong side of the play of the ball. That's what the penalty's for.
Says they're going to run this ball, it looks like to me. But that, I think, is because the speed is being dictated. The pace of this game is all in favour of Hull SC. They're getting through collision, through contact, and playing the ball quicker than Warrington.
Washbrook from dummy half into centre field to Sneed. Sneed has got Joe Philbin all over him. Washbrook drops the pass off once again to Josh Bowden. Washbrook again. Solid defence once more on Sikamano's run as he went for that try line. That is the Warrington line right behind them. Washbrook again. Give it some width this time to Connor. Connor then a short ball to Brad Fash. The Wolves defenders deal with the threat. They've reached tackle number 5 here after the penalty. Sneed dinks it over the top. The ball is loose. The ball is knocked on. I think it might be 6 to go for Hull. It is to Mavavi. This is a great chance for Hull to increase their lead before half-time. They got the repeat set, but not probably the way they expected it would come. Solid defence again on Bowden. He goes down a couple of times. They get the penalty then, do Hull. Murdoch Priscilla shakes his head, can't believe that the penalty has been given against him.
Well, the extra effort just falling off the tackles then Murdoch Masilla.
4 Hull penalties, none so far for Warrington. Brad Fash takes it in again. That's Washbrook. Here is Sneed. This is Connor. Connor gives it wide to Shaw, goes further wide. He's had his pocket picked. Josh Griffin. He has had his pocket picked.
Well, they were very patient in the build-up to that and then making that mistake just as Warrington were on the back foot. But again, you've got to give some credit to the way that Warrington defending the line. The mistake from Griffin, he was through the gap, he was on the outside of Toby King.
Toby King did well, one-on-one, just nicked it.
Yeah, he did. Look at him, he just makes that mistake, hands in the air, he knows he's free, and then all of a sudden you double up your errors by giving a penalty away, trapping Warrington just 25 metres from the line. But just here, lying on too long.
Yes, here they have conceded the penalty.
He's been unlucky there, Brad Fash.
There's not really much he could do, was there?
Well, they're looking at the player at the back of the ruck, which is delaying the play of the ball. And they've been fairly consistent on that, so you've got to make a bit more of an effort to get out of the way.
Warrington won't be complaining. They were under the cosh a couple of moments ago. Here they are now attacking with Dom Crosby inside the whole half of the field. 4 tackles remaining this set as we get to almost to within 4 minutes of the half-time siren. Philbin again. Darryl Clark in centre field, directing the operations, finds Tyrone Roberts. Oh, that's well picked up by Stephen Ratchford. Looked as though he'd lost that.
It was too slow, Eddie, that's what it was telegraphed.
Stephen Price is waiting to make his way downstairs to the dressing room. Chumavave manhandles Atkins to the ground. Reach tackle number 5. Roberts will stab this through into open territory. Shaw did well, then got a clunk then from Jack Hughes for his pains, and that will relieve the pressure.
Well, that's painful for Warrington because that was their best set of 6. Jack Hughes getting a speaking to.
Careful, mate. All right.
Ben Thaler just dealing with him. A little bit high, more of a lunge than anything else. But Warrington asking some questions, and definitely a feature for me about the 2018 Warrington Wolves is Darryl Clark getting out and having a look, going back to the way he played the game when he was a Castleford Tiger.
Discipline, lads, come on! Steph! Go!
I just feel that Warrington needs some of the repeat set to their own near Hull's line. Not building pressure, rugby league. And at the minute, the team that's building all the pressure and carrying the ball forward and taking the battle to their opponents is Hull FC.
And here they come again. Will move quickly across the line to Mavavi, but his threat is dealt with by Atkins, who might have been penalised for another little pull on the ankle.
I think he's been good, Dean Hadley. You know, he's carried the ball and he's passed the ball to holding defenders. Sort of an unseen role that sometimes takes place in a team, but he's been consistent for 37.5 minutes.
This is Manu, fed by Connor. Appeals from Warrington that the ball had gone forward. Connor again, hoist that kick. Oh, and it's knocked back off a Warrington hand, I think, or off a Warrington body. And it might be heading through here to
James,
Hull.
we've got a whole scrum. It's come off Tom Lynham.
I agree with you. I think it comes off Tom Lynham straight into touch.
Well, that's Ben Thaler's original and first thought, but he just wants James Child, the video referee, to check.
And that's it, they'll have two looks, and I think you can see clearly there it comes off his shoulder. He's playing at the ball.
Might only need one. Oh, no, he needs two. Thought he might have only needed one.
Straight off his shoulder and into touch.
This is a massive moment in the match here, and I'm sure that Stefan Ratch will say, hey, come on, boys, we've got to hold out here now. Just over 2 minutes to go. There aren't going to be that many tries in this game, and we can't allow this Hull side to get another one right now. The concentration and the application in defence here is essential.
Yes, it's a big 2 minutes for Hull FC and Lee Radford.
Okay, let's bang, please.
And a big 2 minutes for the Warrington Wolves in defence. They're lined up down this left-hand side, and that's the way they come with Sneed and then Minicello. Warrington's defence marshals itself. Solid blue line now on their own goal line that they're defending. It's Sneed. Here's Connor. He just changes the direction. Comes back the same way. Showed it to Minicello. Pops the ball up then for Twimavavi. Twimavavi releases the pass. Washbrook gets it away to Minicello. Minicello going for the line, and Warrington, well, they beat him by sheer weight of numbers. They tried to take him over the line so that it would be held up. Now they've conceded a penalty, and as we're 1 minute and 10 seconds from half-time, surely Hull will take the two.
Well, Stefan Ratchford, difficult really to get his arm free from that player. Mark Minicello had the ball, he had his arm trapped in. If he makes a reach for the ball, could have been a penalty.
In 6 minutes, the non-negotiable, mate. Right, I've called the tackle, and then pull him over the line. I don't know why, because he should just get off him then. Then the ball comes out, it's a clear penalty. Same with that up there, and you've got to have a word with them and get stuck into them.
And Ben Thaler is laying the law down to Stefan
something to do with that. Before, when I've called hell originally, you're still pulling anyway. Get into your lads and have a word with them to sort the ruck area out.
He's not happy, Stuart, the way the ruck is being sorted out by the players.
Well, no, and I think Stefan Ratchford was sort of saying his arm was stuck in there, but you know, the fact that the ball comes out loose and the hand's in there, he's got no option but to give the penalty to Hull.
And I think that is a direct reflection of how Hull FC are running harder, getting through the line. And we talked about the passing, the variety of plays that they're throwing, but ultimately their ruck speed is causing the Wolves all kinds of difficulties, and that's where the penalties are coming from.
And Ben Thaler not happy with the way that Warrington was still pulling to try and get the man over the line when he had called held.
After he called held, yeah. I think he was trying to explain to Stefan Ratchford it wasn't just the end result that was the issue with it. There was a couple of things in there.
It was the means to the end. Well, here's Mark Sneed with the last kick of the first half. It could be another 2 points to the Hull total. And it is straight between the uprights. Mark Sneed adds 2 more points to the total. He's kicked 3 successful kicks tonight as Mark Sneed. Farimo has got over for the only try. Stephen Price and company with a little work to do. Warrington with nothing to show for their first half efforts. It's Hull FC 10, Warrington 0. Farimo with the only try of the match.
If you spit blood, you may have gum disease and could be on a journey to much worse. Help stop the journey of gum disease. Switch to Corsadil toothpaste. It's 4 times more effective at removing the main cause of bleeding gums. For healthy gums and strong teeth, help leave bleeding gums behind. Corsadil Ultra Clean.
Our house has helped us achieve so much.
It's where we raised our family. All the laughter and the tears.
And now our house has done the most amazing thing of all. Thanks to equity release, it's given us the money to enjoy our retirement, help the grandkids, and still live in the house we love.
So now we can do all the things we dreamed of.
To discover how your house can help you in retirement, call Key Retirement for your free equity release guide on 0800 0448 448 or try our calculator at keyretirement.co.uk.
Whatever your story, this is a great place to start. Premier Inn.
Saturday! Boost! Smells of football. Boost! Tastes of football. Boost! Feels of football. Boost! Saturday is football. Boost! But could it be better? With the Soccer Saturday price boost, it could. The Soccer Saturday boys are about to spontaneously combust. Sky Bet. That's betting better. When the fun stops, stop.
You've been living there for 7 years.
For the last time, does your door lock conform to British Standards BS 3621?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Some home insurance questions can feel impossible to answer, so we don't ask them. Get a quote, not a quiz, at Aviva.
I'm Dan, and I'm his data self. We are inseparable. I'll have the steak, please.
Oh, me too.
Medium rare. Medium rare. He's what companies see when they're deciding whether to offer me credit. And if I need a loan or a credit card, he'll show me what I can get.
Get to know your data self with Experian and make it work for you.
Package holidays you can trust.
Howdy. You want some help?
Are you sure that's the right amount? Fine,
Thank you so much.
Oh, looks good. Still got some money left. Whoa! Ooh-wee. All of it?
All of it.
Most of it. Give it most of it. Try and keep something glaze, baby.
That's a drive-out win. Like saving carloads of cash at Confused.com.
I should have known something like this was coming.
Sit down, buckle up, and don't make me kick your ass.
What has the stronger pull? Fear or money?
I'm ready.
How would you feel if your wife slept with a black man? She does. Every night. Sometimes twice.
Come on in! Join the revolution!
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
Four Premier League matches coming up for you on Sky Sports Premier League. Tomorrow, 11:30 a.m, it's Burnley and Everton, doubleheader on Super Sunday. Arsenal travel to Brighton. Arsene Wenger under all sorts of pressure. 12:30 p.m. to start for that one against Sky Sports Premier League. And then Man City's title charge continues. They're at home. Chelsea the visitors, 3:30 on Sunday. Monday Night Football comes from Sellers Park. Crystal Palace hosting Man United. 7 p.m. start for that one. Right, we are at a very cold and windy KCOM Stadium. The match survived the weather and Hull FC lead at half-time, 10-0. A converted try followed by a Mark Sneed penalty. Bookended by Mark Sneed penalty sees the host 10-0 to the good. And it's all going well for Widnes at the DW Stadium. They have won 2 of their last 3 matches over there. They lead 16-0 so far, just about 10 minutes to go in that first half. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff. Matt Whitley scored first. Tom Gilmore then with a couple of converted penalties, and then he converted Stephen Marsh's 27th minute try. As I say, just about 10 minutes to go on that one, but so far so good for Dennis Betts and the Widnes Vikings. We will focus now on the first 40 minutes from this round 4 of the Betfred Super League at the KCOM Stadium. Inconsistent performances from both Hull FC and Warrington into the build-up to this game, dominated the build-up to this game. Both sides, both coaches looking for a little bit more consistency. It has come, it seems, John, in that first 40 minutes from Hull FC.
Doesn't it? I think they were taught a lesson last week on their return to Australia. Against the Cassava Tigers. They've been a lot more clinical in the attacking opportunities that they have got. They have had to look for them, but they've not been readily available. I think Phil made a great point in commentary, and that is that the way that Hull and the style of play that they were prepared to play in these conditions versus the way that Warrington wanted to approach this game, which was drives in the middle. Every last tackle option for the Warrington Wolves was a kick. I think Hull FC, in exploring those fringes a little bit more, have found out a little more about their opposition than vice versa.
OK, that converted Beretta Fremo try came in the middle of 2 Mark Sneed penalties, hence the 10-0 scoreline. But we're going to look at Mark Sneed's half-back partner. Lee Radford, in the absence of Albert Kelly, picked Jake Connor and said he was looking forward to seeing Jake Connor play in the pivots. John, assess his first half performance.
Very polished, very accomplished. I think he was an extremely talented player. I think we all share that view, and Lee Radford himself had wanted to see him in the half-back role. Lovely measured kick there. He took a little bit of the weight off that one. That was an early rangefinder on the 5th minute and put Stephen Ratchford into a corner. Then the 40-20 that preceded the try. This came on the 23rd minute, scores at 2-0, just that Mark Sneed penalty that separate the two teams. This is what I like. So this is the build-up to the try. Mark Sneed, there is nobody else in Super League who can avoid kick pressure like this man. And that's because the speed between ball to hand and ball leaving boot is so small, it allows no time at all for anybody to get any pressure on him. What's more, it's accurate.
Right, he's trying to drop this on the head of Toby King, who's stepping in for the injured Bryson Goodwin. OK, talk to me about this from Toby King's point of view. He's at a disadvantage, really. He has to catch, whereas Jake Connor, I suppose, has the option of catching, batting the ball.
Well, I think the first point to make is it's come off the bench. Normally, I would expect to see him in the back row, but centre's not in a position that's completely alien to him. The attacker has always got an advantage there because he's running onto the ball, although you do see a great leap from Toby King here. The difference is Toby King really needs to secure that ball. For Jake Connor, the only thing he needs to do, if he can't secure it himself, is bat it back. That's what he does. Great awareness from Sikamana. We're going to cover this again from a second angle just to show you what he sees. And then great discipline by Faraimo, staying on the wing, and the opening try to Hull FC. We're going to see it from another angle now, and it's worth taking another look at this because, again, look at Mark Sneed. He's going to drop the ball in this area, which really makes this catch available to only one man, and that's Toby King. So just make this area available. And this is the man that we're talking about. This is the man that's going to be put under pressure. It also has an effect, I think, on this man and this man. First of all, you've got Declan Patton, who effectively now becomes redundant in that defensive line. He has to maintain his position on the inside, but he can't really do much to affect anything else. The other man that it affects is Tom Lynham, because Tom Lynham, once King goes into this space here and into that box, the only thing he can do is follow him in. He has to follow, he has to stay on his shoulder, cannot become detached. Speed of the execution's great. We've already talked about the competition, and then because now that player is a redundant player and Tom Lynham has had to come in, there's space on the outside.
Just a little movement backwards from Sikamana as well to give himself a better view of what was going to unfold in front of him. He didn't rush in underneath the ball.
But you look at how little time that he's got to assess the situation here. Ball's just about to come into his hands, and he's already spotted what he's going to do. It's great stuff, great awareness, great execution, good discipline, as I said, from Fremo to keep his position on the wing. And they fully deserved of the lead that they've got. I think they've been much more adventurous, they've been rewarded for it, and the execution's been great too. Jake Connor, great first half.
OK, there will be some strong words, no doubt, in the Warrington Wolves dressing room. Lee Radford disappointed in the build-up to this game with the effort they produced last week in defeat against Castleford. I'm sure he's a little more relieved after that first 40 minutes. They got 40 to go. They do lead 10-0, and for the Warrington Wolves, who battled the weather And closed motorways to get here, well, they sit in at half-time behind. Will the man of the match come from that dressing room? Remember, it will be voted for via the RFL's Our League app. A short list of 4 will be produced by a person selected by the Rugby Football League, and then you can vote on the winner. OK, time now to go for a break. The second 40 minutes from this round 4 of the Betfred Super League is coming up. As I said, it's a cold KCOM Stadium, but if the Hull FC side continue on and win this game, it will matter not a jot to them about the weather. Second half on the way.
Big chase on him, Luke Gay with a drop goal! That's it! He has kicked it!
Now's the time to switch to Sky Fibre Unlimited. It's monstrously great value and totally unlimited. Plus, it's super fast and super reliable. Perfect for box set binges. Sold for fibre that's totally unlimited, super fast and super reliable. Switch to Sky Fibre Unlimited for £25 a month for 18 months, including line rental. Exclusively for new and existing Sky TV customers. Search Sky Fibre.
Whatever happens now, it's what God has asked of him.
God's kingdom is not to be bought and sold!
Never speak again in his name.
I will not be silent. I will be heard.
So, what are we here for?
Inspiration. Here we go. What do you see?
Rush hour?
All under one roof. Your home and car insurance on one policy.
Just one renewal date.
And another great deal for customers.
Genius! Let's name it after this place. Ah.
We'll call it Multicover.
Multicover.
Get your multi-cover deal at admiral.com.
Available to rent in Sky Store now.
He's a fighter.
Miss this.
I'm putting together a team. You, me, and the big guy.
It's got a name?
It's called the Revenges.
The Revengers?
Rent Thor Ragnarok in Sky Store now.
Record-breaking Chelsea, champions. Irresistible force at the top of the Premier League. Beautiful football from the would-be champions. Unstoppable.
See if Chelsea can derail a City side on course for a record-breaking title win. Live on Sky Sports Premier League.
And perhaps weave a little bit of magic. Returns to Sky Sports after too long away, and next Thursday St George Illawarra take on the Brisbane Broncos at 8 o'clock Sky Sports Arena. On the Friday there's a double header, Newcastle against Manly at 6:30 in the morning on the same channel, and Sky Sports Arena at 8:45 for North Queensland against Cronulla. The NRL back on Sky Sports in 2018. Here at the KCOM Stadium, it's Hull FC, the home team, leading by 10 points to 0 against the Warrington Wolves. Farimo and Sneed, the point scorers. Players emerging, and I've been doing a little bit of research at half-time. As you all know, it was the first day officially of spring yesterday. Well, I can tell you that in 3 weeks' time, 3 weeks on Sunday, the clocks spring forward. British summertime begins on the 25th of March. The Red Super League.
I think Steve Price has just won his team in this second half just to go out there and just play a bit more. They were very low risk in the first half. They only made 2 mistakes, as that shows, whereas Hull FC, they made more mistakes, but they're asking more questions. But every time they carry the ball, whether it be a prop or a back rower, they're giving a little double pump. Sometimes they're giving the ball but they're certainly throwing the ball around.
I was trying to read the body language of Steve Price when he was talking to his players. He looked to me like he was motioning his players. Get forward when we're carting the ball, support the ball carrier.
Well, they're going to have a ball carrier here now because it's with Tom Lynham. And it is one out stuff from Warrington at the moment. The only man who was close to him is the guy who's gone into dummy half, and that was Deck Patton.
And they have got enough danger when you give Tyrone Roberts, you give him a quick play of the ball, especially near Hull's line. He will cause some problems, but it's getting up there and then doing something when you're in that good field position.
Another drive forward here by Ryan Atkins to the halfway line. Half time, I should say, at Wigan, the DW. Widnes 16 points to 4 up against the Wigan Warriors. Wigan 4, Widnes 16. Quite a performance by the looks of things from Dennis Betts' side in that first 40 minutes. Can they hang on, though? Can Warrington conjure something up here? A little dink over the top, gobbled up by Jamie Shaw. And it's, I think Phil said in the first half, it's 5 drives and a kick, Warrington, at the moment.
And wasn't a great kick either, was it, on that one? I know that he had some protection around him, Jamie Shaw, but he didn't have to do a great deal. It wasn't that much testing. Wasn't a great deal of pressure or stress put on the Hull side to receive or recover possession. They're working really hard in defence, and
they've lost the ball. The ball has been lost. Oh, and the referee says it was pinched by the Warrington players.
Well, obviously chasing the game behind on the scoreboard. They have them where they want.
He's right too.
Yeah,
he's right. Murdoch-Masila.
The left arm of Ben Murdoch-Masila, just a little tug on that game. And you know, that's a discipline in the game that you need. You can't do that. You can't give a penalty away when you've got the opposition where you want them.
Let's get the half-time news, shall we? What was said in the dressing rooms, Bill?
Eddie, for Warrington, the key, certainly at the start of this, well, the key in the second half for them, if they're going to turn this round, is intensity. Steve Price wants much more of that, much more intent from his side, and then they're going to get into the game, he feels. But without that, there's very much second best, or have been so far tonight. So they really do need to up the effort if they're to match Hull. And Hull, by contrast, Lee Radford, happy with the effort they've put in. It's a night for that. You really have got to roll your sleeves up tonight, and Hull have done that well. They've pleased their coach. 1 or 2 technical things they've got to tighten up on, 1 or 2 areas as far as finishing goes, but he is pretty pleased, is Lee Radford, as well he might be.
Yes, I bet he is. It's a workmanlike performance, and Brad Fash got as far as Stephen Ratchford, who collared him and pulled him down with help from Darrell Clark. But it's Hull with Connor, Jake Connor running flat, drawing the man on with the run, and the man is Minicello. And again, the ball comes free, but it's because it is the turnover, and Warrington defend their line stoutly, and they get the ball back.
It seems like an injection of pace every time Hull FC have the ball. Brad Fash, I don't think he expected to get through the gap. Dean Hadley pushed up really hard with him, created that gap. I do like Brad Fash. I think he's one of those small, dynamic, explosive players.
Well, we're 4 minutes into the second half, and Warrington have made their first substitution to Teleki Akualo. He's actually come off there, and I guess that would be a question mark, whether in time they can get him to play for longer minutes, or whether that was just a plan here. The ball's gone backwards. Warrington now, interestingly, in the second half, trying to shift the ball, throw more passes inside their own half of the field, but didn't quite have the skill, and with the wind as it is, that's difficult. They're low on confidence, and they're immediately under pressure.
Well, is it the Ryan Atkins and then the little fumble by Mitch Brown? Was it Ryan Atkins knocking the ball forward?
Well, I think it goes backwards off Atkins. I think it's that fumble there off Brown that's been ruled as a knock-on. But again, he seems to be facing his own goal line when he's doing it.
We said last week, Stu, any fumble these days in this game is deemed to be a knock-on.
And it seems a bit of a strange pass as well. You've got Ben Murdoch-Masila looking to throw that cut-out ball, whether it was a bad ball to Ryan Atkins, but in turn it went to Mitch Brown. He had Mark Sneed in front of him. He's the man he should be getting at.
Well, here they come again, the black and whites with Sikamanu. 18 metres away from the line, tackle 1. Griffin now will drive it in. It's another test of this Warrington defensive line. Washbrook, who, by the way, is playing his 200th appearance for Hull tonight, did well there. Did Connor to hang on to the ball. It's now with Sneed. Sneed then gets it away. Warrington are muscling up in defence. They're finding a devil's own job to get through them, the black and whites. There's Washbrook again, flat pass. Solid stuff again from Warrington. No way through for Brad Fash. Washbrook, back it comes. Sneed out to this right-hand side, looking for Griffin. Well claimed in the air by Toby King.
Again, Eddie, you referenced how good they are defending the line. I just think they've shown again exactly what they're all about. But it's further up the field where they need to be better. There's a penalty
that will help.
Yeah, it will. It's 7 penalties to 2 now in favour of Hull FC. And they look like they need some energy. They had a lot of energy last week when they played against Wigan. They really took the game to them all across the field. They were very good, Warrington.
Dean, don't go to rig that, mate. Brad, you keep it nice and tidy, mate.
So it's Warrington who will restart just inside their own half. Patton finds Chris Hill. He gets them just about over halfway.
Chris, let him get off. Let's go.
And it was Dean Hadley who was all over the top of him. That's 2 tackles gone. Clark again had a little look then. Decided to come down the short side with Ben Murdoch-Masilla. Gets the ball away, does Murdoch-Masilla, but it goes to ground. And Fatuli Talanoa picks up for Hull FC.
Well, they'd be disappointed he made that mistake, Ben Murdoch-Masilla, but that's one of the first times in this game he's took the ball under his wing and got into full speed. Look at this. This is what you know Ben Murdoch-Masilla can do. Obviously, he can't get the ball away, but that's still a better sign from the big right-handed player. Big right-sided player, sorry.
They'd be annoyed with that. They did show a little bit more invention then, but it had the same result.
I think he'll be annoyed at Ryan Atkins. Again, I'm trying to read that body language from Steve Price, who had both hands at his side. That's a wonderful carry.
I like this fella. I like this fella. Whoa, and then he gets one for his corner from Patton.
Well, he didn't expect that one, did he? I think he's out cold.
He is. Lights out.
I know I'm going to do now. Wait there.
Yeah, Dick Patton, it was round the back of for him, or he wasn't expecting it. He was in the clear now.
And Hull were very upset by this challenge.
I said it last week, he does remind me of Tavita Vaikona, who played at Hull FC back in the 90s, beats the first man more occasions than not. Dick Patton, who's not a dirty player, doesn't have this in his game.
The referee thought he'd been tackled actually and went to send him back, didn't he, at some point here, Stuart?
That's right.
That point there.
Ruled the tackle was complete there. He blew the whistle to send him back. Oh, well, he's got that one. That doesn't look good.
No, he's got that wrong, doesn't he, Dick Patton? Look, you can just see he's looking inside. He's looking at Jack Hughes.
It's a red card, isn't it? It's got to be a red card.
Well, I would view that as a red card. It's directed to the head. Will the officials do the same?
Things going from bad to worse here.
Well, he had a little word in his ear, I think, and the red card is there, and the red card is brandished, and Declan Patton is sent from the field. Well, Warrington are incensed by the decision, but if you see that on second and third viewing, the referee had a little option. It's not in his game, you're right, Terry, but he just had a rush of blood or something then.
You've got to accept a red card when you get one, Barry. We both know that. I didn't get as many as you. He's had a red card. He's got to go, leave off the field there as a result of that.
Yeah, there's no complaining with this send-off.
Really argue with that.
And when
I agree from Dick Patton.
When you look at the reaction of Chris Hill, he needs to be calm. Chris Hill, the leader of the side.
It might be the best thing that happened to Warrington here. They were flat in the first half. They said they needed more intensity. How often do we see a team with 12 men lift to another gear? And they certainly need it here. They've got over half an hour, 10 behind. They've got one man less than the opposition, but that doesn't mean you've lost this game. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, he's going to have
and I'm doing my job. You sort your fellas out.
Let me speak though.
Right, go on.
Yeah, you've got to watch this now because it's going to end up over a stupid tackle.
Just a minute. I've done my job. Right, end the story. You go over there and sort your boys out.
And Ben Thaler. But the thing is that for Remo Lou has to go and have a head test. He might not return. And certainly Dick Patton isn't coming back.
He'd do well to come back on the field, wouldn't he? And Chris Hill saying to the referee, as Hull FC and Mark Sneed go for 2 points, said, you're going to have to keep a lid on this now. This game could explode. Well, Chris Hill's got to have a word with his team and the players around him now, because they're the ones that feel that the decision's gone against them. They can't control Hull FC at the minute, who are playing on the front foot. They'll take the time here. Mark Sneed looking to knock over 2 points.
It's a very ambitious penalty goal attempt, isn't it?
In this wind, it is.
I know the clock runs down.
I'd back him.
He's 40 metres out.
I'd back him. Left pegger, right between the H's.
Well, he's 30 metres out, isn't he? 30 metres away.
You're the one that can't measure, Eddie. You
right.
can't measure carpets.
Listen, I wouldn't buy a carpet from me. I wouldn't buy anything from me. Sneed, how about that? How about that from Mark Sneed? 12-0, 2 extra points. And look, Deck Patton, I am a great admirer of his, but the more you see that challenge, the worse it becomes.
We all are, Eddie. But obviously he gets that tackle wrong. There's some frustration in that tackle from Deck Patton as well.
When his lights are out and all.
I don't think we'll see Farimo again.
You have to get hold of Jake Connor, right? Because the next time he was like, no, oi, keep it quiet. Keep your control. You need to sort him out. Listen to me. Right? You sort it out like that. Leave the rest to me and get it as a plane. Sort it out.
Well, Terry O'Connor
he's got a job on now, Ben. Ben Taylor has a job on.
He has, and I think he wants Mark Sneed to have a word with Jake Connor. I think he was making some comments to Deck Patton as he was on his way off.
He was riding the grill as Chris Hill was having a conversation with the referee, Ben Thaler. The moment Ben Thaler had finished with him, who was in his face? Jake Connor. And Terry O'Connor talked about him before the match. He would have a fight in an empty room, that fella. But at the minute, he's getting under the skin of his opponents. And they're in the box seat for this victory now. Long way to go, though.
Yes, there is over half an hour. 12-0, Hull are ahead. And Warrington down to 12 men.
And without Bryson Goodwin, who's been one of the best players, hasn't he, this season. He's looked great in attack when his team have had the ball. This is a test for them. They might not come back to win in half an hour, but the coach will find out how much character his side have at this point in the season.
Another solid run from Sika Manu. There's Bryce Goodwin. There's no sign of him coming back on, Bryson Goodwin. Brad Fash spreads it to Sneed. He then finds Shaw. Sean goes down that left-hand side with Mavave. Shaw then takes the return. Oh, and they've got 3 against 1 down this right-hand side now. Here comes Connor. Puts the brakes on, goes back inside the other way. Gets away from one would-be tackler. Good run from Connor. They get him down eventually. It's tackle number 5. Last one coming up. Washbrook. Inside it goes to Sneed. Sneed then gives the ball to Bowden. And, well, I don't know whether they lost the count then, Hull, but that was an untidy end to what was a promising set.
Yeah, they did, because they had some space out wide. Mitch Brown found himself around the middle. He was trying to get back into position. Fatuli Talanoa had his hand up on the left-hand side. He wanted the kick from Mark Sneed. Only a wasted opportunity there for Hull FC.
See, they're really good, strong carries, aren't they? But it's been solo dances down the middle of the field, really, for the Warrington players. Any support with him?
There's Mitch Brown again.
Problem with Brad Fash on the floor there, Eddie.
Oh, there's another player down now. That's Brad Fash. Brad Fash is flat out now. Look, we've got some Warrington news coming in as Brad Fash gets urgent attention. Here's Bill.
Yeah, the Peter Pan of Super League has just come onto the field. Benny Westwood, just the man you want in a simmering situation like this. Westwood on the field, and you mentioned Bryson Goodwin. The word from the Warrington camp is that they're hoping that he will be able to come back on, but it really doesn't look like it. This knee problem that has flared up again is restricting him, and he looks a pretty disconsolate figure on the sideline. Warrington looking a pretty disconsolate side at the moment.
But the problems aren't for Steve Price at this minute, although he's got plenty on the evidence of the 51 minutes we've seen here tonight. He's got plenty tonight. The problems lie at the moment with Hull and Brad Fash, because this looks like another head knock.
He gets very low when he's defending Brad Fash. He's probably well under 6 foot. His head is in the wrong place. He does get down low. He gets bumped away by Mitch Brown.
When he goes into
this, he's not well at the minute.
His head should be on the left-hand side. He goes across the body, which opens it up, and you could see straight away as soon as he was hit. Brad Fash is a tough little player.
Right, Brad. Yeah.
He's surely got to come off, hasn't he?
And that generous. Wait there.
No?
Wait there.
Well, you presume the doctor and the physio out there have done a head examination and are happy that there's no sign of concussion.
Looked like plenty of sign of concussion when they came on the field.
It could have been his head was in the wrong way, a click or a crack in his neck, and he didn't like the sound or the feel of it, and he just stayed down and waited for some information.
Well, let's hope that is the case. Warrington have dropped the ball. It's Toby King running laterally, and here comes Sika Manu, just an ankle tap. In the end, no, the referee has called a zero tackle, so he wants him to play the ball, which he does now. And there's Washbrook, and that was Hadley, and here is Fash, showing no signs of the bang, so fair play.
Ben, where there? Go.
Coming down the left. It's Connor.
Well, now we've got Connor in the centre with Jordan Abdul dictating, putting the ball in his hands, but there's some fire in the defence here now from the away team.
I'll tell you what, he's got a price on his head now, Jake Connor. Chris Hill, he wants to collect.
Well, they had a word with each other as Chris Hill moved away from that challenge. Connor got up and had a smile, and Hill said something over the shoulder. This is Sneed. That's a good ball, and that's a great try. That's Carlos Swimovavi. Hull have taken a stranglehold on the match. Lee Radford's men beaten in Australia by Wigan. They came back last week. They were beaten at Castleford, but it looks like they're getting back on the horse here tonight. They're 16-0 up against the 12 men of Warrington.
Well, Lee Radford said after last week there's a few things that we need to fix up. We need to be better when we're in attack. And there's the mistake. Bowden putting a lot of pressure on King. Drops the ball 30 metres from the line. And have a look at it. Little drop-off play. Double drop-off. Carlos Swimovavi doesn't switch off. He's in support. But this is what you get. Half-backs running at the line. Different options that he's got. Talanoa. Good little offload to that man, Carlos Swimovavi.
Well, that's just wonderful deception. Sneed is moving the ball across his body, hiding the ball. Defenders don't know whether he's still got hold of it or he's passed it. And great set piece, set play. Swimovavi, he gets the 4 points.
And great celebration from the Hull players for Swimovavi's first try of the year. 15 last year, a career best. And he, of course, was in the side that was triumphant at Wembley in 2016 against the Warrington Wolves as well. Mark Sneed, well, he's not missed one yet. This time he's bang in front of the sticks. You would imagine this would be a 3 converted try lead in a second, and indeed it is.
Well, teams that go on to win trophies have an ability to kill off their opponents when they have them on the ropes. Well, that's exactly that situation, and they managed to put on a classic try. They scored from that player several times last year, and they put it on again early this season, and it's been equally as effective. See, Farimo is off the field here now temporarily. Let's hope he's going to be okay. He's back in the dugout there watching with his teammates. But this whole side managed to win the Challenge Cup last year. On the evidence of what we've seen for almost an hour tonight, they look like they're going to have a great chance to win the grand final this.
Yes, and Warrington have the ball back here with Tom Lynham. It's been consecutive finishes inside the top 3 for Lee Radford and Hull, as Warrington examine them down this left-hand side. Plus, then those 2 Wembley wins, the 2 first Wembley wins in the club's history, mean that Lee Radford is written into the folklore, but they haven't won the title in 35 years, since 1983 under the great Arthur Bunting. Is this going to be the year they have a real dig at Old Trafford? They were there last in 2006. Darrell Clark, Westwood, Roberts, Atkins, trying to get away from the try scorer, the latest try scorer, who managed to scrag him over the line. There's Mitch Brown. Roberts again. Here is Westwood. Westwood takes it forward. I like Bill's description, the Peter Pan of Super League. Roberts to Ben Murdoch-Masilla. They're very close to gaining some reward here. Well, they get a penalty because they wouldn't let Ben Murdoch-Masilla get to his feet. It was Mark Minicello, the culprit, I think. So Clark gives it then to Ratchford. Here is Westwood again. Big test now of the whole defence. First major test of the whole defence all night, this. It's with Hill. And Hill going for the line himself, surrounded by black and white jerseys. Half a metre short. Clark again. will have a little run. Westwood will try and burrow his way over.
Solid defence from Hull FC.
Solid defence, and Ben Westwood would run through solid walls for you. Ratchford goes wide to Lynham. Lynham releases the pass. Hull have defended well, but it's a knock-on by Hull. It's head and feet to Warrington at the scrum.
Well, more pressure, but what about that Hull FC? You said, Eddie, and you commented about how many players were around the man who was carrying the ball. And look at this, when the ball goes away from this, still pushing from the inside. They're not letting that gate open. Warrington are examining Hull FC's defensive line now, shifting the ball, but the defence seems up for it.
Grim face on Stephen Price. Pressure from his team. 12 men, 18 points down. Need a try. Will they get it here? Ratchford, untidily. He finds Darrell Clark, who tries to step around the defenders. Minicello and Hadley affect the tackle. Here now is Cooper. Been good all night, Cooper. Been good all season, Mike Cooper. Will play the ball to Clark. Clark will go himself, and Clark is held up. Solid defence from Hull once again. There's Westwood, gives it a bit of space this time. Roberts, Ratchford. Ratchford gets it away. Toby King. They're there in numbers, aren't they? Great defence from Hull. Lynham again to Jack Hughes. Short ball then to Chris Hill. The captain grits his teeth and tries to get through them, but that's 5 gone. Last one coming up for Warrington. It's with Ratchford. Got the ball away. It's a great try, that is. A great try for Jack Hughes. Well, they got the possession from the scrum and they made it pay in the end. And Jack Hughes over for their first try of the night. And for Jack Hughes, man who hasn't missed a game throughout the last couple of seasons, on his 53rd consecutive appearance. Not much yet to smile about for Stephen Price, but Jack Hughes has given Warrington a little bit of hope.
Well, it was the first period of sustained pressure, and it looked like the black and whites were going to continue to repel this Wolves side, but it was a nice delicate pass. It unlocked that tight defence and a glimmer of hope for the Wolves now.
Ratchford is in a hurry to convert this, and converted he does. Well, they're back within 12 points, and they've still got 22 minutes and a few seconds.
Well, it's game on in a way, isn't it? They've gone for the power play, they've run the ball on the last tackle, and Stefan Ratchford now almost fills the role of the standoff. Declan Patton's off the field, but he gets his hands on his ball earlier, and it shows how creative a player he is to delay the pass and invite his teammate into that gap just in between two defenders. Kick's gone over, they're 12 points behind, there's no pressure on them in a way now, nobody expects them to compete. They become a dangerous proposition for this black and white outfit.
And Chris Hill leading from the front, as always, gritting his teeth, driving it forward to the 20-metre line. Clark. Here comes Cooper again. Wants to play the ball quickly, which he does, to Clark. And we're on the 58th minute now, and you will notice in the background the Hull supporters are applauding loudly. It's to celebrate, if that be the right word, the club's historic relationship with the fishing community in this city. In the 58th minute, they are remembering the darkest moment in Hull's history, when 3 trawlers went down in the North Atlantic 50 years ago today. The loss of 58 lives, hence the applause ringing round the KCOM Stadium in memory of that dreadful moment.
Well, Eddie, they've certainly got a lifeline, haven't they, with that try. And our penalty, and look where they are on the first play.
Great chance for Warrington again then to add to this score, as Ratchford gets it to Hughes. And again, there are numbers there to deny him. He'll play it to Toby King. Toby King, not the best pass to Ratchford. He got it away, though, to Cooper. Cooper backing into the defenders. Referee shouts held, 4 gone. Clark to Hill. Chance here for Westwood. And Westwood, he's forced back into the field of play, but he releases the ball to Murdoch-Masila. They're in with Ryan Atkins. The comeback is gathering momentum The 12 men are coming back at the Black and Whites of Hull FC. Ryan Atkins. It's his 4th try of the season. 2 against Widnes, 1 last week against Wigan, and 1 here tonight. 4 tries in the last 3 games then for Ryan Atkins. And suddenly from nowhere, Warrington are back in the hunt.
Well, Hull FC are wobbling. This is the set of 6 from the kick-off. It's Ryan Atkins who gets the penalty. One of the quickest in Super League. Look at this, the nice little twos play from Chris Hill. But what about this offload from the old stager? 4 men around him. He gets the ball. It doesn't go to hand, but it doesn't need to. He attracts the players in. He sucks those outside defenders in. Carlos Tumavavi should be defending out wide, helping Talanoa, but they couldn't control Ben Westwood. Nice offload, nice try, Warrington.
Well, it's an incredible comeback from Warrington, and Ratchford can kick this. They're right in the hunt, and he has kicked it. A wonderful kick from Stefan Ratchford. 18-12, Hull lead, but Warrington, they've got the wind at their backs.
Well, the greatest wins in sport for both players and the 50 or so Warrington fans who've travelled over here. And when your team have been written off, they're underdogs. There's no chance that you can do it. But Warrington now have given themselves some hope. 6 points behind, less than 20 to go, but still enough time to put some pressure on the opponents, and almost refound a confidence that they had back in 2016 when they were the team to beat.
Well, there's a lot more talk now in the Warrington team. Everyone likes it. This man will lead from the front, but Stefan Ratchford, he could be the key, along with Tyrone Roberts. The goal forward created, and this is what Darryl Clark's good at, getting out from dummy half on the back of decent strong carries.
Well, 2 tries in 3 minutes for Warrington, and the second one from Ryan Atkins, a special one really, because he's now level on 130 Super League tries with Lee Breers. Lee Breers, there he is on the sideline, part of the coaching team at Warrington Wolves. He and now Ryan Atkins are the club's record try scorers in Super League, and here comes Darryl Clark, and Warrington have certainly got the sniff of something here now. The comeback's on. The last quarter of the match, and they are in the ascendancy with 12 men. Ben Murdoch-Masila is clobbered from behind by Carlos Tumavavi, and that's the turnover, and Stephen Price knows that that is a chance gone begging.
Well, what he's wanting his side to do is get to the back end of the set and put in a pressure-building kick. And one thing's for certain, in this last quarter now, just over 17 minutes, they've abandoned 5 drives and a kick. Ben Westwood has come on. He's passing the ball, he's offloading the ball, and he's testing this Black and White's defence.
And remember, Warrington down to 12 men. Deck Patton sent off for a swinging shot on Beretta Ferrimo of Hull. We've seen him go off the field. We've got news of Ferrimo from Bill Arthur.
Yeah, he won't be coming back on. Not surprisingly, Eddie, Ferrimo was knocked out. The verdict of the Hull medical team by that high shot from Deck Patton, who's taken his seat, he's changed, and he's sitting back in the stand just behind me now, sent off after that tackle, and Ferrimo won't be coming back on the field, not surprisingly.
No, as the lad said, he was out before he hit the ground, but here comes Jake Connor. The ball then inside, it was touched, I think, by a Warrington hand, but I think Warrington knocked it backwards, I think. But Warrington knocked the ball backwards, and the referee's got it right. It's head and feet to the Wolves.
Well, a couple of things were going for them in the first half. They looked to get them out wide, and the forward pass from Griffin, looking to get the space, looking to get that breakaway, but Warrington certainly are up in the ante in this game, dictating the pace of the game.
And Wigan are coming back against Widnes, 10-16 at the DW Stadium, 16-4 it was at half-time to the Vikings. Here, Warrington coming back into this match with a vengeance. 18-12 is the scoreline now, and at half-time it was 10-0. And then it went to 18-0, and then we've seen 2 tries in 4 minutes from Warrington, a man been sent off, and suddenly they're right in the hunt.
Some decent carries here, some nice strong runs as well from dummy half. Certainly been causing Hull FC some problems.
Good ball. Oh, I was going to say good ball. I think it is. It's down to 0. They got a hand in there, did Hull. They're struggling to to get back into this match, a match that they looked as though they had absolutely in their back pocket. There's Darrell Clark, the 10 metres out. Drive in from Dom Crosby, he's going for the line now.
Eddie, there's more purpose every time Warrington player carries the ball.
Clark again, into centre field to Ratchford, Ratchford then to Roberts, and that's touched in flight. That's another 6 coming at Hull. It's with Mitch Brown.
Darrell Clark is growing in influence this last couple of minutes. He's examining, he's patient, and when will he pounce?
It's Chris Hill now for Warrington, and that's another solid run underneath those sticks. And I think there is a man there. Is that
Liam Watts? It is, Eddie.
Liam Watts, yeah, is clutching his ribs, isn't he?
Again, said about the forwards running with purpose. Another strong carry from Chris Hill. And you never normally see a man like Liam Watts stare down.
And he's in some pain. Was it friendly fire, that?
I think it was at the head of Scott Taylor when he goes in. Obviously, you're not expecting it. Here you go. Does he just fall on his head? Is that the problem? It's certainly caused by
It's ribs,
Scott
isn't
Taylor.
it? He's holding his ribs. It would be painful. Problem for Lee Radford then. They've certainly been more affected by Farimo's injury and taken off than Warrington have by the sending off of Dec Patton.
I think it looks like it's galvanised Warrington playing with 12 men. Sometimes you say, well, hey boys, let's go out there and just throw the ball around. I think Ben Westwood has had a huge influence in this game, and Steve Price knows now that they're back in this game and they've got a real good shot here because they are where they want to be. And Hull FC now defending their line, and it's going to be difficult for them the way that Warrington seem to be playing.
And when Farimo left the field, let's not forget the most influential player for Hull FC was Jake Connor. As Hull FC have had to adjust, it's meant that Jake Connor is further away from the action, and obviously his influence has been less.
Well, I tell you, Christopher, on the line!
Well, Warrington are a couple of metres away, as you can see. And here is Ratchford. He's having a growing influence on the match as well.
I agree, Eddie. I think Warrington look better, don't they, with him dictating play.
Clark. Ratchford again. Certainly getting his hands on the ball more and more, Ratchford. I mean, needs must, I know, with 12 men. Clark is the dummy half. This is Roberts. He tried to fool them, but they wouldn't be fooled. Clark again, gets it away to Ben Murdoch. Masilla takes some stopping from that range, and sheer weight of numbers stops him the right side of the whitewash as far as Hull are concerned.
Is that a 5-man tackle? Is that why the ref's got his hand in there with 5 fingers up, 4 fingers on the thumb?
Well, they've conceded another penalty here.
Eddie, it was a great tackle from Carlos Tumuvavi to stop Ben Murdoch Masilla getting over the try line. He was then helped out, but that's a silly play. A little push is just enough to give that penalty away.
So Warrington come again. And Darrell Clark is there at dummy half for the Wolves. He finds Westwood, who finds Ratchford, gets it away to Toby King. And Toby King is bundled over the touchline, and Hull survives some increased pressure. And Warrington don't do much to change the mood of their coach by the looks of things.
Good inside defence, the number 16, Jordan Abdul. He knew where the sideline was. The effort to hold King up and push him over, well, that shows it's a team sport, this. And to get across and help your teammate out and get your opponent out of the field of play, that's a big play, and it was a big effort.
Well, we're getting close to the time when we'll be opening the lines for the voting for the Betfred Man of the Match. 4 rugby league legends out there watching with you tonight, going to come up with 4 candidates. Then it will be over to you, the fans. You can vote using the Rugby Football League's Our League app. Voting's going live in a few minutes' time. I'll give you another shout out and get you to place your votes and place your bets, and hopefully tell you who the 4 men are as well. So almost time for the Man of the Match vote, and he might yet emerge in Primrose and blue. Who knows? If Warrington get out of this, it might take a man of the match performance.
Well, it'd be a huge effort, won't it? Considering being second best for most of this game.
They're leading 12-8 Warrington since they went down to 12 men, by the way.
Well, they're 6 points behind on the scoreboard, Eddie, and that's all that matters at the minute.
You often see it, Eddie, don't you? I mean, I think it's to do with pressure and expectation. It totally reversed, and it's given them a freedom to play in a different style, a different manner. Their attitudes changed.
There's a real old up and under. Knock on by Ratchford.
6 more tackles.
They get 6 to go. Yeah, back to 1. And here they come with Jamie Shaw and Griffin wide to Connor. He thought about going for the line, turned it back inside instead. This is Jordan Abdul. And Warrington's turn now to muscle up in defence, but they have 5 more tackles from here. 20 metres out. And it's with Scott Taylor.
Is this drop goal time for Sneed?
Well, it might be. It might be. The gap is 6. 7 would do nicely as we approach the 10-minute mark from the end. Here's Abdul again. Back it comes. Shaw catches one high and then gets clobbered from behind. It's another penalty to Hull FC. And Jake Connor and Don Crosby. And all the Warrington defenders, it seems, are carrying on the debate.
Well, you guarantee when there's a coming together, Jake Connor's going to be in the middle of it. And there's going to be 2 points here. Mike Sneed is going to attempt to go for the conversion. There's a high shot on Jamie Shaw.
And that's all it is, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
It's completely different to the deck pattern scenario.
It is, but the trouble is it's yet another one. And the referee wants words with Jake Connor now.
And he's doing a good job at managing the players.
Over there. Sort him out.
He spotted him. He spotted the fact that Jake Connor is in the middle of it all.
He don't have to look very hard at it. I think that's spot him most weeks.
I think that's about the 3rd time that the referee Ben Thaler said we're going to have a word with Jake Connor.
Maybe the referee will have a word with Jake Connor if some of his teammates don't.
There you go, he kicked one from a similar position before, didn't he, Mark Sneed?
But just to look at Jake Connor in a bit more detail, and not at any point does he look like he's going to throw a punch, he's lost the plot. It's everybody else reacting to him. Coaches want players, and they use a phrase, I want players with fire in the belly and ice in the mind.
I was wondering what was coming then, Terry.
I must admit, I closed my eyes.
He has fire in his belly and ice in his mind, Jake Connor.
All right, you got away with it.
Just sit back and listen, Eddie.
I do all the time. I learn. I listen and learn, Barry. I listen and learn. It's just when you pause.
I was just getting ready. Dramatic effect.
I know. No, you're thinking, how can I get this out without getting us all into trouble? I think you changed direction. Right, here is Mark Sneed to try and put 2 points on the board, which he does. He's been faultless with the kicking tonight. 6 out of 6 for Mark Sneed. 20 points to 12 for Hull.
Well, I might just take the wind out of Warrington's sails. That 2 points, obviously, they need to score twice now, Warrington. They threw absolutely everything. They've had a real good spell, and they backed themselves. But do they but still believe that they can cause some problems, get some decent field position and post some points? That man certainly hopes so.
Short kick-off, contested kick-off. Connor's underneath it. And it was seen too that Connor would not be going any further forward, courtesy of Toby King.
Well, whoever's picking those 4 players might not go too far away from Jake Connor and Mark Sneed. Both had a huge influence. Mark Sneed's kicking game, Jake Connor unsettling and setting up for his opponent, his teammates, some opportunities.
Here they come, Hull then, looking to really put this game to bed if they can. It's Liam Watts. Referee shouts held. Referee shouts held. They've got to let go of him. There'll be a penalty coming here. Nearly a penalty coming. Oh, that could cause Liam Watts all sorts of trouble. What on earth did he do that for? What on earth did he do that for, Liam Watts?
Well,
him that way.
It's got to be a red card, hasn't it? You can't headbutt somebody. You can't do that.
No.
Well,
it's at least a yellow.
Well, again, left to me, I would it would certainly be red. You can't go to someone with a head like that.
Again, you just can't lose the plot like that. In control.
He's on his way. He's going. He's going. We're going to have 2 men sent off here tonight.
Off you go.
Off he goes. 3 times in 2017, Liam Watts was shown a red card. Already in 2018, he is shown a red card.
Right. He's going as well as Liam. That's it. He can't do that. End of story.
He can't.
I mean, there's nothing in it. There's no blood drawn. But why would you do that?
No, he's absolutely lost it. He was getting dominated by Dom Crosby. He was getting pushed back. Dick Patton was sent off for getting a tackle wrong. Like, Liam Watts is in control of the ball. He's got the ball. They're winning on the scoreboard. And you can't walk forward. I always give big raps to Liam Watts and Scott Taylor. I like the way that those two players play with each other. But not on that occasion.
He's just lost the plot.
I think he's let his teammates down there.
Well, it's 12 against 12. And Wigan have hit the front against Widnes. They were 16-0 down, if I remember. They've got 20 unanswered points. Here, we have a dramatic last seven minutes or so, because now it's all square on the field, 12 apiece, and it might have been something there if Tom Lynham had managed to hang on for the Warrington Wolves.
He just snatches at the ball, doesn't he? Look at this good attacking shape and nice hands from King, but the ball was just a bit too high. He snatches at it, knocks the ball forward, but again, look at the space that he had with just Jamie Shaw to contend with.
I'm going to compliment the defence there. They were outnumbered, Hull FC, but just did enough to rush the decisions that Warrington were making.
Well, just Dean Hadley needing some treatment, so let me give you the 4 names as man of the match spotted by our legends watching tonight. Dean Hadley is one. Darryl Clark is another from the Warrington Wolves. Chris Hill of the Warrington Wolves. And Carlos Twimavavi. They are the 4 names that our rugby league legends who are watching tonight have come up with as a possible man of the match. So you make your choice now, because the voting is open and it's via the Rugby Football League's Our League app.
Well, I'm sorry, but how is Jake Connor and Mark Sneed not in that 4?
Hey, I didn't pick them.
Not in?
I am surprised that those 2 players aren't involved in that.
Well, it could have been the fact that Jake Connor maybe has been close to the wind as far as the referee is concerned all night, maybe.
He's been helping his teammates, though, because Warrington players have been focusing in and targeting that fella every time he's got the ball.
I think we mentioned earlier on tonight that Hadley has been good.
Yeah.
You know, and, well, I suppose in many ways they might just be hedging their bets with the 2 Warrington names, just in case we get a Warrington victory. But, you know, Clark played well all night. And at the moment, Darryl Clark leads the way, just leads the way in the vote for man of the match on the Our League app. So there you go. For the Betfred man of the match, we'll tell you who it is at the end of the show.
A nice game management from Mark Sneed. Just stepping up on the left-hand side, the clock stopped now. Warrington forming the scrum very quickly. Still believe that they've got enough firepower to get over the line, but I think it's going to be a big ask with just over 5 minutes to go to come up with 2 scores. As Chris Hill, the captain, is just prowling on the sideline, waiting for his turn to get onto the pitch.
Stay on side, lads. Right, let's go again, guys. Time's
So 20 points to 12 here for Hull FC. 20 points to 16 now for Wigan at home to Widnes. And that's got a little bit longer than this one to go. They kicked off at 8 o'clock. This is a 7:45 kick-off. And as you see, we've got a little over 5 minutes left for play here. And Warrington have another penalty. The referee's losing his rag about these messy rucks.
A nice little patch, though. They've had a poor 5 minutes, Warrington.
Brad Fash can have no complaints about that.
I don't think many players have complaints about penalties that have gone against them when they go home and watch it. It's just when they're involved in that battle, involved in that tussle, what they do, sometimes they just lose it.
So Warrington come again with Ben Murdoch-Masilla, and Hull, that's good defence. The referee says he's held, eventually he is, down he goes, but he gets up quickly, plays the ball to Darryl Clark. Good tackle by Brad Fash. Here now is Ratchford and Cooper. They've not given this away, Warrington. Cooper will go down 5 metres short. Darryl Clark fires the ball to Ratchford, short pass then from him, and Joe Philbin is halted by the Hull defenders. There is Hughes. It's with Ratchford now. Seen plenty of the ball in the second half, Lee Ratchford, as he's moved forward. Roberts being pushed back, but gets the ball away to Atkins. They've lost a bit of momentum there at Warrington.
Again, terrific defence from the black and whites, up in the faces of the Wolves.
Nice kick from Roberts. Just too long, though. Just too long. Mitch Brown was hunting it.
Talanoa had to keep his nerve there as well. He was trying to usher that ball over the sideline. He's got his back to Mitch Brown. Just give himself enough time.
Stuart, that ball was in the air. It hadn't hit the touch, hadn't hit the ground beyond the dead ball line.
It had, or it hadn't. And I think Tumuvavi was the last to touch it, so it could well have been a goal line dropout.
That's the new interpretation, the new rule.
Well, it's been a couple of years now, but the ball has to bounce outside the field of play before it goes out of play.
The fans are begging for a penalty here. They're on the back of the referee.
He's had a job tonight, Ben Thaler. 2 red cards. Can't think when we last saw 2 red cards in the match. I think you might have been involved, Barry.
What are you looking at me for?
I think you probably got both of them, by the way.
Get sent off twice. Was it you, Stuart?
Probably. Sneak back on.
We are boys 4.
Jamie Shaw wants to get on with it.
Just looks to surely kick this ball out of the field here now.
Oh, stolen. The ball was stolen. Mark Minicello got a clock in the face as well. Did Mike Cooper's hand get onto that and put it away in a 2-man tackle? That's the view of the referee. Mike doesn't believe it was the case. There it is, the hand was on the ball, and you're always taking a chance.
And it's monotonous, isn't it? Sneed, penalty, 2 points. He's there just at the back supporting his second row, Minicello.
Well, this will take the sting out of it completely. Hull will win the match if Sneed kicks this. I think they're going to win it anyway.
Even if he doesn't get it between the H's, he doesn't get the 2 points. That clock,
they're running it.
Oh, did you see Lee Radford's reaction? Throwing his arms up.
He was with us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was with us. And apparently the word from the sideline is that the whole bench was screaming for 2 points and get the kicking tee out there.
Drop tee was out there already.
The players have taken it into their own hands. Fair enough. You've got to say,
drop goal.
They have the responsibility. Abdul, well, maybe a drop goal. If you go for a drop goal, why wouldn't you have gone for 2?
Exactly. Exactly.
Sneed's not interested. They've gone wide with Tumuvavi. And Tumuvavi is just short. That's a good tackle by Tyrone Roberts and Mitch Brown. Minicello fires the pass into centre field. Here is Scott Taylor. Well, they've had 5 goes, so maybe this is the moment for Mark Sneed and a drop goal. Maybe.
Setting up.
And there it is. Drop goal it is.
My friend at the side of me looked at me like I was mental then when I was calling for a drop goal, only because they were set for a drop goal. Not that they need that 1 point, they just need to practice it under stress, under pressure, in match conditions. Thank you very much, Terry O'Connor.
It's just about letting the clock tick down, isn't it? If they would have gone for 2 points, a minute would have passed. Obviously, that man's chose to run the set out. That's a set that takes normally around a minute. Then they've got this little break.
Well, they lost to Wigan in Australia, they lost to St George Illawarra, and they've come home and they've lost to Castleford. But tonight they've come home for the first time since their Australian odyssey, and they have taken the points against the Warrington Wolves. Even though Warrington will end the game possibly with the ball in their hands, they'll go home after this prolonged and protracted journey across to Hull for them. they go home without any reward.
It's been a big effort from Warrington today. Not only in this game, but to get over there.
On and off the field, you're right.
Everyone's worked really hard from early hours this morning to get this game on. They've come over, they've given it the best shot, but Hull FC have looked really strong. And Lee Bradford, I'm sure, will be very proud of the way that his players have performed. It's been a tough old battle, both sides really ripping into each other, obviously with 2 men sent from the field to play.
Well, it has been a tough old battle, but Hull will win it, and they'll win it on the back of that man, Mark Sneed's goal kicking, because it's 2 tries apiece, but Sneed has taken all sorts of penalty opportunities, and he's got the drop goal as well. And that will do, I think. Mark Sneed with Tom Lynham takes the ball over the line. There's the full-time siren. Hull have won. 2 tries apiece, as I say, 6 goals and a drop goal from Mark Sneed. And Stephen Price and Andrew Henderson and all the coaching staff will analyse this. Jake Connor has been a thorn in the side of the Wolves all night. We've had 1 man on each side sent off. Deck Patton after 7 minutes rather of the second half, and Liam Watts 8 minutes from the end. 21 points to 12. 10-0 it was to Hull at half-time. It was an exciting and an entertaining second half. Warrington tried all they could, particularly when they went down to 12 men. They got 2 tries in 4 minutes from Hughes and Atkins, but in the end it was the lead that Hull had built up and then the kicking of Sneed that eventually won the match for them, as I say, by 21 points to 12. Big effort from Warrington, big effort from Hull, and well, I wonder what this will mean as the season progresses. Hull needed the victory, that is for sure, and they will feel that they very much are back and amongst the possibilities for being top 8, top 4 now come the end of the season. Right, who is the Betfred man of the match? Thanks to you, the viewers voting at home. It is Darryl Clark, and he's with Chilly Billy. There you go, Bill.
Thanks, Ed. Darryl, congratulations on a man of the match performance. I'm afraid the Silver Salvers stuck in Manchester. For an hour, you really weren't in that game, and yet 12 men, and suddenly the things transformed.
Yeah, we knew we had to start playing a bit, you know, throwing the ball around. We was going a man down if we had any chance, so we had nothing to lose that last, back into the game, so we were just throwing it around and we're just trying as best. It worked for us for 10-15 minutes, but it was always going to be hard once they got the ball and we had to defend with a man down.
You really were slow out of the blocks, and I think you paid the price, didn't you?
Yeah, look, we came here, fully fit. We felt we was in a good position to come on and win this game, and it didn't happen. So, heads down and on to next week.
Well, you got man of the match award. You got a cheque for a charity of your choice. Where's that going to go, Darryl?
Children's Farms Trust.
You've been put up to that, haven't you?
Yeah. Ryan Atkins took me up. I didn't have one, so yeah. As long as it's going to a charity, it's a good cause. So yeah, I'm not bothered where it goes.
Well done tonight. Thanks, Darryl.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Scott Taylor, captain of Hull FC tonight. Slightly jittery ending.
Yeah, we haven't played great last couple of weeks, and we wanted to put in a performance tonight, and we still didn't do that really. I think it was good in patches, but when they're down to 12 men there, and I think it was 18-0 up, we need to be putting teams to bed there. But tonight was all about getting the win, wanting to get the 2 points, get back on the road, and we'll go to Leeds now next Thursday.
Well, you were certainly on top first half and the start of the second half.
Oh yeah, definitely. We come out firing, and I thought we was dominating field position, completed 80%. That's what we wanted, but like I said, we didn't play for 80 minutes again tonight, and something we need to work on.
I think a lot of people are surprised to see you back in action so soon after you've had an appendix operation. How's that gone?
Yeah, it was tough being in Oz and watching the boys ripping against the Aussies and not be a part of it and be in hospital for 3-4 days. But I've credit to the staff, the physio, conditioning staff, Paul Hatton. They've really looked after me, got me in shape for this game, and obviously Radders was all for me playing. So I'm just happy to get out here, captain the team, and get the win.
And get the win after 2 defeats. So that's got to be a boost.
That's it. Now we'll go to Leeds next Thursday, try and get some momentum going.
See you there.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Lee Radford's the Hull coach. Thanks for joining us, Lee. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I like to keep me on my edge of my seat, obviously. I really pleased to get up to 18-0 in the manner in which we got up to 18-0, but obviously really disappointed with how we dealt with being in that lead.
How the fact that you're up against 12 men and you made life difficult for yourself in a number of ways.
Yeah, look, I've seen it plenty of times when a team goes down to 12s and find a little bit more energy and juice in what they're doing, and that was certainly the case. I just thought, we assisted them in that as well.
What about the sending off? Any sympathy for Liam Watts?
No, none. Pathetic effort at an head, but he's an Airedale lad, and they'll run him out of town for dropping your head on somebody like that. I think he's going to miss a lot of games and deserves it.
To get back though in the winners' enclosure after a couple of defeats, so you said before the game that was the object of the exercise. At least you've achieved that. Yeah,
I'd have liked to have done it in a more comfortable manner. I think we've got a real difficult task obviously next week going to Headingley. We've not won there in this will be our 12th season I think now. So yeah, we've got it all on and plenty of improvement in us.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you. Cheers.
Finally, Steve Price is the Warrington Wolves coach. Has come down, and what do you make of that? I mean, you said before the game it's been an eventful first month for you. That was an eventful game as well.
Yeah, we just, I thought we competed better when we went down to 12 men, and it was disappointing with our completion rate and our penalties, and we need to address that pretty quick.
Do you think they had the edge as far as enthusiasm went, certainly for the first half?
Especially the first half. I thought we, in a period there in the second 12, 15 minutes, I thought, they had 100%. I think we were at 40%. So when we went to 12, I thought we started to change the momentum of the game and get back in the fight. And just a little bit of execution there, but we gave ourselves a chance there with about 8-9 minutes to go, and wasn't to be.
What did you make of the sending off, Steve?
Which one?
Declan Patton. Lee Radford's already given Liam Watts the serve.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to look at it again, but to go down to 12 men, I'm not happy with it. So I'd have to have a look on a replay. Where I was sitting, I couldn't really get a good look at it, but the guys competed hard when we went down to 12.
That's a bizarre thing. First hour of the game you really hadn't had a look in, you go down to 12 and suddenly things almost turn around.
Yeah, we got a bit of a spark there, but credit to Hull.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Steve Price says you'll need to look again at Dec Patton's red card. I'm not sure you'll hear a more honest appraisal of his player's red card than Lee Radford's on Liam Watts. Refreshing to hear a coach so open and honest. That was one of the major talking points of a very action-packed second half. We're going to go to John Wells now. We left John at half-time with the Hull FC side leading 10 points to 0. And in the second half, John, we had 2 red cards, 3 tries, and a shed load of talking points for you to take us through.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. It was an eventful second 40 minutes, wasn't it? There were some decent tries in there amongst everything else that went on as well, and I think both coaches have been fairly accurate in their appraisal. I echo your sentiments regarding Lee Radford and his honest appraisal of Liam Watts' brain explosion. But that led to the Tumi Varvey try at the penalty, and then the 5 minutes after that, and then the Warrington fight back, which culminated in tries for Jack Hughes, the one that we're seeing now, and then later for Ryan Atkins. But I think by that point they were too far behind, and I don't think they contributed enough in terms of hard yards, hard meters, thinking outside the box, really. They had a very definite game plan, it seemed to me, and weren't too sure about straying away from that. 2 things. There was a definite moment of the game, the defining moment of the game. We'll help Steve Price out here and give him a second look at this. This was 49th minute, 10-0, and the game changed at this point. Yes, Hull FC were in charge, and we all hope that Beretta Farimo is okay from that. I don't know what to say about that from Dec Patton. Don't know what he's seen, whether there's any malice in there or whether that's a mistimed challenge. Would like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Ben Thaler, certainly because there's direct contact with the head, he's correct in giving him the red card. But you're right, that did spark Warrington into a little bit of something, a little bit of a fight back. Before I get to that, just a word on Liam Watts. We don't need to show the event again, and I think, like you said, Brian, Lee Radford has been very accurate in his summing up, a brain explosion. 2 reds. The game breaker came in that small window, before Warrington got themselves together, before that spark, that jolt ignited a fight back, before they realised and settled themselves. came this. And it's the cleverest try of the game. It's Tumivavi's try. And it starts with the build-up play. It's a wide shot, and it's designed to hit one man. That's Tyrone Roberts. He's a right-edge defender, normally defends 3 in. What happens, because he's been engaged from that right edge because of that wide shift play, is you've got 2 middlemen now who are going to have to make big efforts to get short side. So first of all, you've got 2 middlemen here who'll end up on this side of the ruck. We'll follow them across. So first you're asking them to work. And then the second hit when they go short side is you're asking them to think. So here they are, we'll pick them up again. So they're out of position. It's not alien territory to them, but they're out of position. Getting them to think is the next thing. And this is what's smart. This man is exceptionally clever in what he does. I think he's had an outstanding game, Mark Sneed, once again. I'll take it forward just a bit and I'll show you what he's trying to do. There's all sorts going on in this place. You'll have to bear with me for a second. So that break from in to out. He's trying to engage Ben Westwood, pull Westwood with him, and also engage Darrell Clark. So he's trying to engage 2 men at the same time. I think he does that pretty well. There's a second runner, and it's the try scorer, and it's Carlos Tumivavi. It's a pre-planned play. Comes back on the inside. That's designed to take Ben Westwood off Mark Sneed, in which I think he does very well. You'll see Westwood here, check his stride here. So there you go. Now you've got Westwood off. The next part of this run, as he's continuing across, is to try and commit Darrell Clark. So you've got Darrell Clark committing, and you've got Ben Westwood opening up a gap and travelling away, this way. Why? Because of this run here from Carlos Tumivavi. So we'll clear all that. It creates a little tunnel. And I think it's great timing from Talanoa. See how that, by the time that Westwood comes out and manages to get back, and Darrell Clark's gone out and manages to get back, it's opened up enough of a gap there for Tuli Talanoa to come through. Keep your eye now on the try scorer, because I think he does very well in making sure that he gets on the end of this line. It's a beautifully crafted play, beautifully executed play. These don't always come off, so it'd be very, very pleasing that they managed to do that. Take my word from that, straight from the training ground, well executed, and before that maelstrom, that whirlwind of a fight back from the Warrington Wolves. The Wolves would have learned something from this evening. It's put the blocks and the brakes on their progress, but I think LFC will be very, very pleased with the result, Brian.
Yeah, brilliant as ever, John. Thanks very much. There was another game tonight. It was over the DW Stadium. Remember, Widnes had won 2 of their last 3 visits to Wigan, and it was looking very good for them at one stage, just a minute to go in the first half, and they led 16-0. Well then, 32 unanswered points for Wigan sees them bounce back from last week's defeat at the hands of the Warrington Wolves. Widnes, very good last Sunday against Leeds, weren't able to back that up with a victory tonight. Okay, let's give you a view of the table. Remember, with the cancelled, postponed games, there will be teams well behind in games played. Look, Widnes played 5, St Helens 3, St Helens out on front. They hope to play their match against Salford on Sunday. Pitch inspection there, double pitch inspection, same at Wakefield. Hull FC, they move up into 5th, and the Warrington Wolves go down, I should say, into 7th spot. Right, it was an action-packed second half. John's gone through the tries and one of the red cards. In the company of Phil Clark, we're going to look a little more in-depth into both of these red cards. Let's start with Dec Patton's. You would have thought, it would have made life difficult, you would have thought, for his side. It actually did inspire them, something you picked up on in the commentary. Your thoughts on maybe what Dec Patton was thinking?
I think he's just got the tackle wrong. I think we've all been sent off for a high tackle, or we've all committed a high tackle from time to time. Sometimes you go higher on a big man because you think it's the only way to stop him. His tackle hadn't been completed. He's clear from there. I don't think it's terrible, isn't it? He makes contact with the head. It's a red card, but he's jumped off the floor, which is never a great sign, is it, if you've got 2 feet off the floor? Of
course, Beretta Fremo doesn't come back on. Ben Thaler, definitive in his decision. I think Jay Connor and Dec Patton having words, to be no surprise. Listen, if there's a part explanation for that, try and explain this one from Liam Watts, because I'll tell you what, his coach Lee Radford couldn't. No, and I think the club and probably Lee Radford are in the right to consider fining Liam Watts to see if he can learn from that, because clearly, from what he did last season with some of his decisions and his discipline, he hasn't learnt and improved in going into 2018. So he does need something to shock him to change some of his behaviour. Certainly not his play, but certainly his behaviour on the field, because that's not good enough for a side that want to get to the grand final and win it. It's clearly not good enough. They were 2012 up at that stage. Mark Sneed kick to drop goal. 21-12 they win. Let's go to the DW Stadium now and look at what was a magnificent start for Dennis Betts and the Widnes Vikings, rolling into a 16-0 lead. Matt Whitley scoring first.
Well, I think it's fair to say Widnes are probably the most improved side of 2018, and we got off to a great start there. A couple of penalty goals after that, and then a nice pass from Mellor to Stefan March against the club where his career began.
And they could see the half-time whistle coming before Joe Burgess nicks in the corner.
Well, competition for places on the Wigan side, and to get on that left wing he's done well. Joe Burgess dives in the corner. That 4 points gave them some confidence there. Ryan Sutton then powers over. We saw him have a tough week last week, but he's made sure that his team have got the 6 points there. And then Tommy Luluai from close range again. You see Wigan going in there. Last one, Liam Farrell here on that left side. George Williams feeds him through a hole, and he cuts back to put it in under the post.
2016 then to Wigan. Sam Tompkins gets on the scoreboard. Not the greatest of days with the boot, but he got himself a try which he was able to convert himself, and a glimpse, I suppose, of Sam Tompkins of yesteryear.
Yeah, I suppose Widnes behind at that point had to try to contest the ball and get it back. They failed to do so. It was a speculative kick, which is a superb return there. And then a nice finish. We've seen Joe Burgess score on the left wing for Wigan in the first half. Well, close of play in the second half. It's the right wing. Pass from Bateman to Tom Davis, who dives in and grounds just inside that corner flag.
OK, wins for Wigan and wins for Hull FC. That's almost your lot for tonight from a very cold KCOM Stadium. There's plenty, though, more action coming up on